Hey guys, how you doing? It's Charlie. Welcome to Level 2, Session 6 of the Complete Beginners Online Guitar course. This time we're going to have a bit of a look at changing chords. You have learnt your A, hopefully, major, D major, and E major. Now, last lesson we looked at how you build upon that by creating a bar of 4/4 and strumming 4 beats, then changing chord, and then changing. Okay, before the bar's over. Now, the difficulty with that, I would imagine you may be going through at the moment, where you're looking to change your chords and it's not quite happening in time and you're missing the beat. Okay, now that is obviously a very common problem, because let alone playing the chord, having to change it as well is yet another thing to think about. So it's going to make things difficult. All right, now I've got a way of doing this for people that I think helps. It has helped over the years. And it's just a different way of thinking. Unfortunately, you know, there are no shortcuts, and I think anyone that tells you any differently is having you on a bit. It is as it is. You are going to have to learn how to change chords quicker. There are ways of doing it, but essentially what needs to happen is your fingers need to move quicker between the chords for you to be able to change quicker, and that's it, really. There's no glamorizing it. So I've just come up with this thing that I use quite often. It's just a way of breaking things down, because the problem is your brain is probably trying to do all this information. You know, you've essentially got one big block of information to try and negotiate, whereas what you try and do is break it down into manageable bits. So for example, from A major to D, what we're going to do is, instead of going, okay, we've got to do that, we're going to say, right, the first finger is now, we're going to move the middle finger off. We're going to take the first finger, start again. Here's our A major. We're going to move our middle finger down onto the 2nd fret top string. This is to get to D. The middle finger is going to come over to the 1st fret, 2nd fret 3rd string, and the 3rd finger is then going to drop in 3rd fret 2nd string. Okay, now that's 3 bits of information as opposed to 1, which I think makes it easier. So I'll do that again for you. A major, middle finger's going to drop down, okay, to the 2nd fret. 1st finger's going to drop into the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then 3rd finger's going to drop into the 2nd string. All right, that's how you get from A major to D major, without having to think of it as one massive block of information. All right, so I want you to try that when you try breaking it down into 3 movements rather than one big one. I think that will help. All right, so then we're going to go from D major to our the final chord, the E major. Okay, now this is a bit harder. You're going to move, the first motion is moving your first finger across to the 1st fret 3rd string. Then your middle finger is going to jump up to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and your 3rd finger is going to drop underneath that on the 4th string. Okay, so those, again, 3 motions. A bit harder because there's not as much in common, obviously, between the D and the A, right? So that's D. We're going to go, first finger drops across to the 1st fret on the 3rd string, middle finger jumps up 2nd fret 5th string, and your 3rd finger jumps underneath on the 4th string of the 2nd fret. Alright, so that's a way of breaking that change down. Now the final one I thought I might do is, again, going from the A to the E major. So A major, E major, a lot easier this one. What you're going to do is your first finger, so there's A major, your first finger is going to straight away jump on the 1st fret, okay, 3rd string. Your middle finger is going to move up to the 5th string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger is going to jump up to the 4th string, 2nd fret. All right. So it's A. First finger drops in, 1st fret. Middle comes up, 3rd comes up. That's 3 motions. Now, if you're lucky, you might be able to turn that into 2 with the 1st finger, and then just moving those 2 up, and then eventually that will turn into 1. Hopefully. Okay, so that's really just a way of breaking it down. It's quite a simple way. It's quite an obvious way. It's nothing particularly amazingly secret, but I think the bottom line is, guys, really you've just got to accept the fact that it is difficult and it is hard, and changing chords is one of those things. But if you're logical about it and you break it down a little bit, it's going to make life a lot easier for you, but you have got to be patient. So try those little ideas and practice those. You know, do that 3-4 times. I know it's time consuming, it can hurt a little bit, hurt the brain a bit, but it's really worth it, and I think it will really help. And over a week or so, if you're regular with that, I think it just turn into one motion and you'll be there and you'll be strumming, and then we'll be playing some tunes. So give it a little go and let me know how you get on, and I'll see you next time. All right.